Hello and welcome to my class. How are you children? Stay at home, stay safe and follow COVID protocols. Now in today's video class, I am going to teach you the same topic, that is tense. But if you will see children, the topic is same but then there are 12 tenses are there. So till now I have discussed with you what is a tense. In today's topic I will be discussing about simple present tense and present continuous tense, its uses and its sentence structure. But before starting that topic, let me revise some important point of the previous video classes. Okay, so I am going to tell you once again what is a tense. So what is a tense? Tense is that form of verb tense is a form of verb, okay, which shows the time of an action and its degree of completeness is tense, which shows the time of an action and its degree of completeness is tense. Okay, so first of all, what is a tense, students? Tense is a form of verb which shows time of an action. So I'm going to revise with you what is time of an action and what is degree of completeness of an action. So time of an action means children when the work is done. If a work is done now, if we are doing the work now, so the time of action is present tense. Okay, like I'm teaching, I'm speaking, I'm standing. So this action and work is done by me right now. So the degree of action is present tense. The time of an action, sorry. Now if the work I have completed, yesterday we had quiz competition, the final round of quiz competition. Now that work is over. Yesterday I went to see the movie. Yesterday some cousins came to my house. Last Sunday we went to Sarnath. So children, these actions are over. So the time of an action here is past tense. Now if we will do some work in the future or some work will be done after now, so the time of an action is student future tense. So I hope time of an action is clear to you. Now we will come to degree of completeness. Children, degree of completeness tense tell us whether the action is happened or not, if any action has taken place or not, or whether the action is completed or not, or whether the action is continued at the time of speaking or is still in progress. So this is known as time of an this is known as its degree of completeness. Degree of completeness of time. So now children, I will be writing on the board and I will be explaining in detail about the degree of completeness of an action. So suppose if the tense is present tense and degree of completeness of the first is indefinite, second is continuous, third is perfect, and fourth is perfect continuous tense. Indefinite, continuous, perfect continuous tense. Okay, so I think children Indefinite here means, suppose if I write any example like Sita writes, okay, or they write. So children, you can see here Sita write, that means an action or work has taken place, but we don't know whether that work is completed or not. We don't know children whether the work is completed or not. Okay, we only know that a work has been there, but we don't know whether the work was completed or not. So in continuous tense, Sita is writing, they are writing. So in continuous tense, children, the degree of completeness of an action is, children, it shows that the work is continued at the time of speaking. So what is it shows? It shows that the work is continued at the time of speaking. Okay, perfect. Sita has written or they have written. That means children, the action or the work is not completed at the time of speaking, or it is going to complete very soon. It is going to complete very soon. Alright, it is not completed, it is going to complete very soon. Okay, and of course student, children, Sita has written, they have written. Alright, so children, here the work is completed or is going to complete or is completed a few minutes earlier. So this is the course of action in perfect tenses. Whether the work is completed or is going to complete now or has completed a few minutes earlier. Okay. Perfect continuous means children, a work has started from the present, from the past, okay, and it is still continuing. Okay, that means a work has started in the past and it is still continued. This work is still continued, student. Okay, so you can see the work is still continued. Then the it will be in progress. So that is, children, what is that? That is future. Which tense is that, children? Future, present, continue, perfect continuous tense. It means children, the work has started in the present time and it will be in progress in the present time also. Past perfect, that means that work had started at the past time and it is still be in progress in the past time. It was in progress in the past. Similarly, in the future, the work has started in the present, in the future time, and it will be in progress in the future time. Okay, so children, this is all the three tenses, they have this degree of completeness. So I hope this is clear to you. Now children, we will come to our topic, that is simple present tense. We have also discussed in my previous video class, children, that present tense is divided into 4 tenses. It is present indefinite or simple present tense, both are the same tense. Then simple past, present continuous. Third is present perfect, and fourth is present perfect continuous. Similarly, it is the case with the past tense also. Simple past tense or past indefinite, past continuous. Third is past perfect tense and fourth is past perfect continuous tense. Similarly, it is there with the children future tense. It is also there with the future tense. Okay, future tense means, children, the thing is that, children, in future tense we don't know whether the thing has started in the past. In future tense, children, there are four subtenses are there: simple future or future indefinite, future perfect, future continuous, and future perfect continuous. So total we are having 12 tenses. Major are three tenses: present tense, past tense, and future. And children, we are having four subtenses are there. Okay, which I have told you right now. So this was all about tenses. Now coming to the simple present tense. Okay, so simple present tense, children, first I will be telling you the uses of simple present tense. Okay, so what are the uses? Habitual or repeated action. Habitual or repeated action. Okay, so children, first, what is the uses? First use of simple present tense, children, we use this tense when any habitual actions is happening, like my grandfather goes for a morning walk. So children, my grandfather goes for a morning walk. That means, children, this is the habit which he is doing daily. He is daily going for the morning walk. And children, this action is a repeated action also. Every day this action is repeated. I take tea in the morning. Daily I take tea. This is the repeated action. So again, this is the example of habitual action. Okay. Sita plays football every Saturday. Sita plays, that means every Saturday. It doesn't mean daily. It means till on weekend also, anything, monthly. But that habit should be repeated at the proper interval time. Okay, like every weekend Sita go to play football. Sita plays football every Saturday and Sunday evening. So this is again a repeated action, and Sita is playing the ball daily, football daily on Sunday and Saturday. So this is a habitual action as well as repeated action. So if this is there, we use simple present tense. Okay, now second example. General truth. General truth, scientific facts. Okay, so children, in second uses of simple present is that it is used in general truth. It is used with scientific facts. It is used with universal facts. So now I am going to give you the example individually. General truth means, children, the fact, like dog is a faithful animal. Generally, children, all the dogs are faithful to their master. So dog is a faithful animal. So this is general truth. Okay, now second is the earth rotates round the sun. Scientific fact. So this is scientific facts. Okay. Now universal truth. Water boils at 100 degree Celsius. So this is universal fact. This is universal fact. This is scientific fact. And this is general truth. Okay. The dog is a faithful animal, we know. Or elephant is a wise animal. This is again the general truth. The earth rotates around the sun. This is a universal fact. Okay, the earth is round. Again, this is a universal fact. Then water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. Or children, water oil floats on water. This is also a general fact. Okay. So children, this is where we use. Now at the third place, children, when we tell something about the commentary. When commentary is there, okay, then we use it is in simple present tense, like Virat bat throws the ball towards Ravi. Okay, so it's a commentary. The ball passes from his hand to the ground. Commentary. So whenever there is a commentary, so mostly, generally it is in simple present tense. Very few sentences we can have children of present continuous tense also. Okay, so now with quotation, fourth is quotes, like Shakespeare says, or John Keats says, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. Okay, now children, John Keats died many years ago. He is no more. So here we should have, instead of say, we should have written said, because that is a thing of past tense. But here we are writing say, because it is a rule that that the quotations or the quotes will be written in simple present tense. Okay. So children, this is there. So here John Keats says, a thing of beauty is a joy forever. So I mean to say, children, this John Keats is no more now. He has died many years ago. But then here again we are writing says instead of writing said. Okay, because this is a quote, and that's why we are using here this word in simple present tense. Okay, so whenever quotations are there, whoever says the quotation, that is written in simple present tense. Okay, now, and children, if anything is scheduled, then for the next day. Okay, like schedule means something related with traveling or something like that. So that will be, though this is the structure of future tense, but we will use simple present tense here, like the PM leaves for USA tomorrow in the evening. Okay, so a schedule has been fixed. So we will not use here, children, which tense? Future tense. We will use here simple present tense. Okay, so I have told you the uses. Now I will be telling you about the sentence structure. So student, now I will be telling you the sentence structure of a simple present tense. So let's talk about affirmative. Affirmative is subject plus V1 plus object. So if the subject is I go to school, so this is subject, this is V1 object. Okay. Then he goes to the school. So V1. So this is the sentence structure of the affirmative sentences. This is the sentence structure of the affirmative sentences. He goes to school. I go to school. Okay. So this is affirmative sentence. In affirmative sentence, children, in simple present tense, we always use V1. Now we will come to, children, negative sentences. So now negative sentence. Okay, so first of all, children, let me revise with you the two important points, that what is the subject and object. Noun and pronoun which comes before the verb is subject. Noun and pronoun which comes after the verb is an object. Okay, so here we can say, children, in negative sentence, and what is children. So children, noun and pronoun which comes before the verb is subject of a sentence, and noun and pronoun which comes after the verb is object of the sentence. And here, children, negative sentence. What is in a negative sentence? We use do not and does not. Negative ways where we use no and not. Third thing, children, I would also like to revise first person, second person and third person with you. In first person, so in first person, let me just simply I will revise with you. First person is I and singular is I and plural is we. So you have to learn this thing. Second person is singular is you and plural is you or your. This is third person is very important, especially singular he, she, it, name, and singular thing. And here children, plural children can be there, they, them. Okay, so this is third person plural, and singular third person singular is he, she, it, name, and singular thing. Okay. So this without knowing this, you won't be able to do, children, you won't be able to understand sentence structure. So now we have come to the negative sentences. So what is the sentence structure of simple present tense or present indefinite tense of negative? So this is subject plus, this you have to write and you have to learn our subject plus do not or does not. subject plus do not or does not plus V1 plus object. So children, one thing, if it is third person singular, then we add s or es with the verb. This also you have to remember. If it is third person singular, then we have to add s or es with the verb. Okay. So I do not eat Maggi. Okay. Example, she does not eat Maggi. Okay. So remember children, with third person singular we use es with the verb, and here verb is do. Okay. With the first person and with first person and second person we never use s or es with the verb. It is only with the children with the third person we use s or es with the verb. Like Rahul does not play cricket. So this is third person singular. So here we are using with do, we have used s or es, and this is V1. Okay. And now we will come to the interrogative sentences. So children, you can note it down. Subject plus do not plus does not plus V1 plus object. Now interrogative. Children, first of all, you should know what is the difference between interrogative sentence and assertive sentence. It is simply not that we ask question. We ask question, but then that sentence is also framed with some structure. So you should know that structure, how that is formed. So first of all, in interrogative sentence, auxiliary verb will come first, then subject will come, then main verb will come, then object will come, and finally question mark. Like auxiliary verb are, subject you, are you, ish, she go to the school. This is object, this is V1, this is subject, and this is auxiliary verb. So interrogative sentence always have this formula: auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb, like here with this main verb, and then object. Okay, they are the object. Now, but if you will take assertive sentence, so the formula will be something else. So your formula will be subject plus auxiliary verb plus main verb plus object. So we can say you are market. Okay, so there is a vast difference between the student of interrogative sentence. What is the formula for interrogative sentence? Auxiliary verb will come first, and children in the assertive sentence subject will come first. So you can, if you want, you can note it down. Now, children, the sentence structure of this. What is the sentence structure of interrogative? Do plus does. We start with the auxiliary verb. So do plus does plus subject. Okay. Like do, for example, do he go to the market? He goes. This is a formula for interrogative sentences. Okay, so with this, today we have completed simple present tense. In my next video, children, we will be having formula for children. We will be having formula and uses of present continuous tense. And now I conclude my video here. Thank you and have a nice day ahead. Goodbye.